somehow also, I know with this time change and the yet bug, somehow we can change a little bit what we do here. I know that we have some special report that we have sent, that we have asked in the office to make like a brief summary, of whatever you want to bring.
Tell that nigga, tell Floyd to get on live. Tell him show where he at. You owe them people over in Dubai that money. Tell him to get on live right now. And he owe people in Saudi Arabia money too.
The boxing world just got flipped upside down after reports surfaced that Floyd Mayweather secretly met with WBA President Gilberto Mendoza. And what went down in that meeting? It could spell the end for Gervonta Davis' boxing career.
Something to be considered, and we'll see what exactly what it is in order to protect the health of the boxers. At the same time, that's one thing. But that's one issue I would like to discuss during this convention as well. That's something that's a topic that they have been talking about it, different organizations.
This came after Tank's 9th-round controversy in his latest bout against Lamont Roach. After weeks of backlash, the WBA had no choice but to take matters into their own hands, especially with Floyd's recent meeting with Mendoza. Was this a move to get Tank out of the game for good? Or was it all about keeping the sport clean? Either way, it's got the whole fight community shook. So let's get straight to it. What's really going on between Floyd Mayweather and the WBA? Sources claim that Mayweather and Gilberto Mendoza held a private meeting just days after the NYSAC refused to overturn Gervonta Davis's controversial draw against Lamont Roach Jr.
Cards. Judge at the ringside, Eric Marlinski scores it on 115 to 113 in favor of Gervonta Davis. Judges Steve Weisfeld and Glenn Feldman both scored it out 114 to 114, even a draw. The decision is a majority draw.
This meeting was off the radar, no press, no announcements, just two of the most powerful figures in boxing behind closed doors. And when news of the meeting broke, the speculation went wild. People are saying this wasn't just about boxing governance. This was about targeting one man, Gervonta "Tank" Davis.
Yeah. What that? What's the name of it?
I see you got your people. Y'all all stepping, huh?
Nigga, where they're at? I don't know.
You don't like
Speak up, son. Frank.
What that mean?
I don't like Floyd, motherfucker.
No, you don't.
EJ do the trash.
Controversial draw against Lamont Roach Jr. This meeting was off the radar, no press, no announcements, just two of the most powerful figures in boxing behind closed doors. And when news of the meeting broke, the speculation went wild. People are saying this wasn't just about boxing governance. This was about targeting one man, Gervonta "Tank" Davis. Floyd and Tank have had a rocky history, with years of public feuds, subtle jabs, and even full-blown social media beef. But now, it looks like Mayweather might be trying to end his former protege's career for good. Now, let's be real. Mayweather isn't exactly known for sitting back and letting things play out. The man is a strategist. And when it comes to Gervonta Davis, the tension has been brewing for years. Ever since Tank broke away from Mayweather Promotions, their relationship has been anything but smooth. Floyd took it personal when Davis started carving out his own legacy, and it's no secret that he's thrown shade at Tank's career moves ever since.
set you off that you was like, I gotta do that?
A lot of people don't know that what Floyd do. He said.
So you feel like it was a sub, like he was subbing you, like, oh, like
He was going at me. He was going at me, and I knew for sure he was going at me. That's why I went at him. It's no reason for me to go at Floyd.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Cause I feel like y'all got, I would say love and hate, but it's been like the last interview you showed them love. This week it was whatever. But is that sometimes like, you know, is it just like big bro, little bro seeing things different, or what is it to you?
No, Floyd don't never. He felt as though I'm at that point where as though I passed him. And I'm doing it at a young age. Like when Floyd was 29, you'll see, bro.
Yeah.
That deal that I'm talking about.
Yeah. Oh, that's a part of the
deal. He don't know about that yet. But that's bigger than his deal.
Damn. Wow.
And I'm just releasing
This is
it on
exclusive. That's exclusive. Bigger than Floyd deal?
Yeah.
Ain't no cap, nigga. That's a lot of bread.
You'll see. It's gonna come out.
But this is next level. The timing is suspicious as hell. Tank's name is already caught up in controversy, and then suddenly Floyd meets with Mendoza, who just happens to be the guy in charge of deciding whether Tank even has a career anymore? Coincidence? Or calculated move? You tell me.
But let's talk about the inconsistencies, the penalties, the millions of dollars. I do not understand it. We should have a commission, okay, that oversees everything.
We can't ignore the elephant in the room, the 9th round against Lamont Roach Jr. This was the round that flipped the fight on its head. Lamont Roach landed a clean jab, and Gervonta took a knee. That should have been ruled a knockdown, but referee Steve Willis, he let it slide, and the fight went on.
You know, obviously the part with the grease in the eye, that took on a life of its own, you know what I'm saying? That was a headline in the fight. One is, what did you think when he said that initially, just like the grease in the eye? But two is like, when you was in the fight, was there any point that you saw that? Like, did you see like him kind of messing with his eye, or did you have any indication that that was something that was bothering him?
No, see, and that's the thing. If you look at the whole fight, he was never bothering his eyes before
you jabbed him.
Before I jabbed him. Even that right hand that, like, you know what I'm saying, that kind of landed, he kind of rolled with it. But after that, you could see him wipe his eye. And then, right after I hit him with the jab, you could see him wipe his other eye. So it's like, it was corresponding to which hand that I punched him with and exactly which eye. So it's like crazy for him to say, it's grease in my eye. And I think even when he say that, you could see me, because I'm right beside him, you could see me like, nigga, what you talking about? So,
right.
But you say you don't think he willing though.
Yeah, whatever. See, but who cares? Like, sweat gonna get in your eye, blood gonna get in your eye.
Yeah, don't matter.
Spit fucking around and get in your eye. You know what I'm saying? But it's not like you can be like, all right, time out, ref. Hold on,
Take no
ref.
time out.
You can't do that.
Right. Would you be cool with Steve Willis doing the next fight?
Hell no.
He can't do the next fight.
No, he can't do the next fight.
Right.
No.
Pops is a no?
Hell no.
Fuck that nigga.
Yeah.
You know how many
Coach Ben on him, man. He lucky he ain't running Coach Ben after that fight.
But look how many times he fucked the fight up though. The knee, him going to the corner to get assistance, like who knows? Not saying that they did any cheating shit or nothing like that. But like he wiped his face with a towel. You can't do that.
Right.
You can't do none of that.
Right.
It's a disqualification. You turned your back on the ref after you took a knee. Usually the ref will be like, all right, he don't want to fight no more. Fight's off.
After the match, Lamont's attorney immediately filed a complaint with the NYSAC, claiming that Steve Willis was blatantly favoring Davis. And guess what? NYSAC actually agreed that things went wrong during the bout.
The New York State Athletic Commission makes a statement yesterday that they're going to be reviewing Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach, 9th round, knockdown, not a knockdown, whatever, to see what the final ruling on their part is going to be. New York State Athletic Commission has been busy. The Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia shit, now Tank Davis, Lamont Roach. We'll see what they decide in this situation. I think ultimately with Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia, they made the correct decision, overturning Ryan Garcia's victory. We'll see what they decide here with Tank Davis and Lamont Roach. Me, myself, personally, I think that it's a very tricky situation, and it deserves a full video. So I don't think I'm going to be able to get all my thoughts out in this video. But I do want to ask everyone watching this video, what do you think? Do you think they should overturn the decision and award Lamont Roach the victory? Do you think because of all the controversy, they should throw the draw out and declare the no contest? Do you think they should do nothing? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I'll give mine in another video, but New York State Athletic Commission reviewing the Tank Davis Lamont Roach 9th round controversy. Let me know your thoughts. See you soon. Peace.
They admitted there was a technical issue that stopped them from reviewing the knockdown in time. But even with that confession, they didn't overturn the result. And that pissed off a lot of people.
Even without the knee, that should have been a knockdown. I thought I should have won a competitive fight. I think I did what I needed to do necessary to bank the rounds. I'm just a little frustrated with the scorecards. I thought I should have won.
The backlash got so intense that the WBA had to step in and handle it themselves. And now, Floyd meets up with Mendoza right after. It has to mean something.
No, well, honestly, I haven't watched the fight. We had a show that night. I haven't watched the full fight. One thing that's kind of baffling is that it wasn't a knockdown. I mean, look, he wasn't hurt. There's no doubt about that. But if you take a knee in the fight and you touch down, whilst punches are being thrown, it has to be a knockdown. I've heard some people saying, oh, that, you know, he should be disqualified. He went back to the corner. I don't buy that, to be honest with you. I mean, I think that's a warning. But it's a bit of a bizarre situation. For me, like, there was a lot of people in boxing that were saying that this is a really tough fight. Like, Lamont Roach is a serious fighter. I said it might not be the biggest profile fight, but it's actually quite a tough fight. And Shakur said to me, like, even the day before, I'm telling you, he's going to have big trouble tomorrow night. And I just feel like hopefully this could be the little something that gives Gervonta a little wake-up call to take him back to the mindset of maybe where he was.
This is my opinion. Sure. It was a great fight. It was a close fight. Depending on what they do with that decision of taking the knee, depending if the commission reverses the decision, or I think a draw was meant to be. So I like the draw. No, if you take the knee, man, if you take a knee in the 90s or in 2000, you're taking a point off. That's the bottom line. You're taking a point off. I don't know what happened with the referee. Maybe he was a little starstruck. Maybe he was a little, you know, because he loves Tank. He loves New York. He loves the big lights. You know, the referee with the eyes, you know, he's like, a point should be deducted if you take a knee. It's a fact. It's in the rule book, right? The fact that they didn't take it away, then that's where the controversy is, right? It's not, look, did Gervonta get hit? Was he dazed? Who knows? Only he knows. But what I saw, when you take a knee, that's an automatic point. That's just the rule. This is not basketball. This is not, you know, this is not basketball where, wait, hold on, my ankle hurts. Hold on, let me take a timeout. You don't take timeouts in boxing. It just doesn't happen. Whether he had something in his eye or not, you have to fight. There's 3 minutes to fight. So if you take a knee, if you go to your corner, I mean, the rules are the rules. And I don't know what New York is gonna settle on, but the rules are the rules.
Then, just when things couldn't get any wilder, the WBA seizes Gervonta Davis's boxing license. Tank was already livid about the draw, but when he found out his license was taken, he snapped. He went on a full-blown Instagram rant, calling out the WBA, blasting Gilberto Mendoza, and even bringing up everything he's done for the organization. He was pissed, and honestly, you can't blame him.
Tell Floyd to get on live. Tell him show where he at. You owe them people over in Dubai that money. Tell him to get on live right now. And he owe people in Saudi Arabia money too.
The man is undefeated, or at least he was until that draw messed up his record. And now he's on the verge of being banned from the sport entirely? But let's be real. this can't be the end for Gervonta Davis. Not like this. Not when the boxing world was eyeing him for the biggest fights of his career. Fans have been begging to see Tank step into the ring with the likes of Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney. Those matchups were supposed to settle the debate once and for all, who's the real king of the lightweight division.
Like, boxing, he's one of the ones.
Yeah.
we gonna take his personality and personal things out of it. But boxing, he's definitely talented. You know what I mean? And he's definitely got that it. And yeah, he's definitely respected in boxing. But Shakur's a different fighter. You know, Shakur's different. You know, people may call him boring. People may say he can't punch. But they say the same thing about Floyd. Because they defensive fighters. Yeah. Tank is not going to be able to hit Shakur like he hit everybody else. And he know that. He knows that. That's why he's like, he's boring. He's this, he's that. He's trying to diminish everything that Shakur.
But after his shaky performance against Lamont Roach? Oh, the questions have only gotten louder. People aren't so sure anymore. Was Tank ever really that guy? Or was he just being carefully matched to keep that undefeated record looking pretty?
Did you get your hair done 2 days before the fight?
Yeah.
Uh,
I ran water over it today, but I must say do it enough.
Can you describe what the feeling was like in the ring? And was it to get the towel out of, to get the burn out of your eyes, or what was going on? And
I didn't want to get caught. I didn't want to get caught while my eyes was burning, and you know, like you can get knocked out like that. So I'd rather take the knee than, you know. But I didn't really know that you can like get disqualified for all that. Or like when you start counting, I'm like, what the hell? But I don't know. It's cool.
Because, let's be honest, if he struggled with Roach, who most people thought he'd steamroll, then what happens when he faces Shakur's elite defense? What happens when he squares up with Haney's technical mastery? And that is why this WBA situation is such a disaster. Because now, instead of proving himself against the biggest names, Tank is out here fighting for his career.
I wasn't relying on that. I was relying on what I was doing in there. I think I was taking control. I think I was landing more shots. I think I was landing more power shots. And I thought I was doing my thing. So I'm not really that frustrated about that.
But here's where it gets even more interesting. Some people are saying Mayweather's move isn't about personal beef. It's about cleaning up boxing. Let's not forget, the WBA has already taken action against big names in the sport. Ryan Garcia got hit with a 6-month suspension after testing positive for Ostarine. And Mendoza himself has been vocal about cracking down on shady business in boxing.
What do you think about Ryan Garcia's PED thing? Why would he take that small of a dose of a steroid or whatever it is on the week of the fight? Because the only test he popped for was the one the day before the fight. You wouldn't just start taking a steroid on fight week. He's guilty, but it is weird.
So, was this just another step in that direction? Or is Mayweather using his influence to make sure Tank never reaches his level of success? One thing's for sure. If Floyd really wanted Tank to stay on top, he wouldn't be meeting with the very guy who can end his career. Here's the thing. Boxing only survives if it stays fair. And that means even the biggest names in the sport have to be held accountable. You can't just let something like this slide, not when the entire integrity of the game is on the line. If Gervonta Davis was actually involved in shady business with referee Steve Willis, then there's no escaping it. No amount of fame, money, or knockout power can cover up corruption. Because if fighters can influence referees and manipulate decisions, then what's left of the sport? How can fans trust any fight? This isn't just about Tank. It's about setting a precedent. If someone of his caliber gets away with something like this, it opens the floodgates for even more corruption in boxing. And that's a disaster waiting to happen.
People are testing positive, like Nick Diaz's case. It's not psychoactive form.
No,
You're dealing with something that's like slowly leaving his system. It's essentially just a metabolite. And not only that, the metabolite he tested positive was not even a psychoactive metabolite. So there's no worry whatsoever that he was using it to cheat.
Nope.
Yeah, that's all it is. So in his situation, it's really ridiculous.
Now, if you ask Gervonta, he's acting like it's no big deal.
Describe what the feeling was like in the ring, and was it to get the towel out, to get the burn out of your eyes, or what was going on? And
I didn't want to get caught. I didn't want to get caught while my eyes was burning, and you know, like you can get knocked out like that. So I'd rather take the knee than, you know. But I didn't really know that you can like get disqualified for all that, or like when you start counting, I'm like, what the hell? But I don't know.
The man went on live downplaying the whole situation, even saying he was planning to retire anyway.
3 people in the world that I think that could beat Tank. That would be Devin, that would be Shakur, and Tank Davis himself.
You got the last one right. That's the only person that can beat me. Gervonta Davis. That's the only person. Them niggas cannot touch me at all. They all been in the ring with me. They all been in the ring, and I cracked both of them. I cracked both of them.
I feel you. I told you it's a 50-50 fight.
Ain't no 50-50 fight, nigga. How you gonna keep me up and you ain't got no power?
I was also told that Devin got the best of you in the last sparring session.
And you know I sparred him twice.
That's right. And
First time
Bill
my father took him out the ring.
said that.
Almost knocked him out in Floyd gym. Did they tell you that? Did they tell you
I don't
that?
know, but I ain't hear that.
Oh, okay. Tell to Devin and his dad to get out my dick. Tell him, be prepared. Because after these first 2 niggas, oh man, I'm coming straight at niggas. I'm telling you.
And yeah, Tank has been teasing retirement for a while now.
Why are you retiring?
With trash.
What changed? What made this
trash, garbage?
If you got the opportunity to sign a prospect for GTD, who will be?
Gervonta, something should have happened during this time, because when I saw you at the Frank Martin press conference, it looked like you were like the talks about retirement was not even discussed at this moment, and now it's something you keep on repeating. Is it just because obviously what you've done through boxing since you were a kid and everything? Where's Calvin Ford? Is Calvin Ford and Leonard Edelby usually they're around to?
You think you might be gaining love for it though? You never know. Like say you got to swap today.
He even said during the Lamont Roach face-offs that 2025 was going to be his last year in the ring.
25 is at the next year. I'm out of it.
After our second fight.
You're out of it?
Yeah,
Care to elaborate on that?
out of the sport.
After our second fight. Nah, no, I'm gonna win, bro.
Nah, I could tell you my fights.
But let's be real, nobody thought it was going to go down like this. The draw against Roach changed everything.
That's why I don't want to box no more. I want to do therapy, right? But I feel as though if I do therapy, it will lose the fire that I have inside me. I want everything out of me where so I don't never think about fighting again. I don't think about even getting angry, you know what I mean? Because I have 2 girls, 2 daughters. I'm wanting to be much softer, you know what I mean? Be more humble and things like that.
Because once Tank's perfect record was gone, the only thing people wanted was a rematch. Fans were ready to see these 2 run it back. But now, with his license gone and the WBA coming down hard, that rematch might never happen. And let's be honest, if Tank was really involved in some shady business with Steve Willis, he's got no business being in that ring anyway. So, what's next for Gervonta Davis? Will he fight back and try to clear his name? Or is this the beginning of the end for one of boxing's biggest stars? One thing's for sure, Mayweather isn't playing around. And with the WBA now cracking down, Tank's future in boxing is looking shaky. What do you think? Is this just Floyd being Floyd, pulling strings to get rid of a former student? Or is this all about keeping boxing fair? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want more explosive boxing updates, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I'll see you in the next one.